Hey all you beautiful flower blossoms out there, and welcome to Stuck on a Cloud. I'm Tiffany, the creator here at The Cloud. Here, we will get carried away with inspiration, with art, paper crafting, gardening, natural crafts, journaling, and more. So join my twin pups Coral and Daisy and myself. Grab your fluffiest cloud-like pillow and a cup of tea, of course. Sit back and relax and let your imagination plant colorful seeds of growing your inner creativity. Welcome back, all you beautiful butterflies. I hope everyone is doing good out there. Today we are going to do a little day off gardening maintenance loving today. I have some tomatoes that need to be loved on because they're getting crazy because there's been a lot of water and a lot of heat, so they're growing like crazy. There's some peas I need to pull and just kind of doing some maintenance around the garden. We have some little friend creatures of the yard that like to eat on things this year. I have not had that issue before, other than sometimes little bunnies, but we have groundhogs and chipmunks and bunnies, and we have had some deers visit us, which we have deers that kind of roam around here in Pennsylvania, but I am also in a old subdivision, but still has woods kind of on the outside of the subdivision, so deer do sometimes come through. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But anyways, that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna show you guys how I do my tomatoes and just a little bit around the garden and how the garden is in mid-July. So let's get to it. So I use these little things. Got the Dollar Tree. And just them up and clip them on. So you can just go off and pinch the little suckers off. I have an issue that I come out and pinch with my hands, and working in the public of cutting people's fabrics every day, just having a stain when I do that, it stains my thumb black, and I just always feel like people look at, because it's so hard, you scrub it, and it's like, I say I have like soil in my skin because it just stains it when you do that. And I just, if I wasn't the job that I am doing, I probably wouldn't really care, but for the fact that I work as a store manager cutting people's fabrics, I kind of have a hard time feeling like people are looking at my fingers and, are you really cutting my fabric with that? Just saying, I don't know. So I come out here and use my clippers to just clip off the suckers. So the suckers, which, I'm pretty sure a lot of you already know, because it's kind of a common thing, but just in case, the sucker is the little part that goes in between little elbows of the tomato, and those will grow and grow and grow into bigger things, and it's kind of harder to maintain your tomatoes when you're doing the trellis like this, if you just let them grow. So this method is easier to just come out and cut off the suckers. You can, if you want more tomatoes, you can put those in water and they'll root, and you can have more tomato plants that way. And but I don't need any more tomato plants right now. I am in abundance of it. I actually still have a tray of tomato plants that I usually put out on by my mailbox and let neighbors come by and grab them. But this year I haven't, and they're starting to not look really nice to stick out there. But anyways, I am going to go through and kind of trim up the bottom leaves and punch out the suckers and trellis them up. So I am not a professional or an expert or any of things. This is just me being me in the garden. But anytime when I'm pruning up and I see tomatoes that have holes, they're starting to not look good, bugs or whatever, I cut those off right away. I don't know if that's like a thing. I don't know. You and I are learning here. We're doing this together. I mean, I've been gardening for 4 years now. As a real garden, not in pots and containers and random stuff throughout all of my living years. So anyway, that's one of the things that I do is cut these ones that are that have not prettiness. So anyways, here is a good example of what can happen if you don't pay attention, but you can fix it. Because you know, I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that works full-time jobs and has multiple hobbies and gardens and is a mom and a wife and stuff, you know. Anyways, this is what happens when you do not pay attention, especially to super cherries. Super cherries can just take off on you like craziness. You get a lot of suckers and they just start like going crazy. And I feel like what I have hooked up right now is a sucker and not the main one. I feel like this is the main one now that I'm looking at it. And this one is a sucker. I might just maybe let these two go and not cut it and just trim the suckers off all of those. I don't know, but we'll see, and I will show you how I clean it up. So here is it all pruned up. And this is the trellis. My husband just kind of pretty much made tees with wood, and then we got the metal coping, I think it's called. I don't know. Home improvement stores and husbands. That's what it is. And he made me the little hooks, and I strung them up. And pretty much from the bottom down, you just kind of wrap the string around the tomato plant and then kind of secure them. I had ordered these white clips when I ordered the strings a few years ago, and they were like not cheap and they break really easily. But then I found these last year at the Dollar Tree, and it's like, I don't know, I think there's like 30 or 40 in a pack for $1.25 now because it's not the dollar store. But anyways, it works great. And you just turn them up. And I am a very big pruner to let the breeze come through, airflow, and you know, I companion plants, so I got onions and basil and marigolds in there, so it kind of lets them get sun and grow. And that's what I do. I prune a lot from the top. I at least make, at least if I have a bunch of tomatoes, I try to at least leave the leaf stalk above it, so they are getting direct sunlight. The energy feed from the sunlight. And look at here. I got 2 tomatoes, and I think this one is ready to be picked. And I'm going to pick this one. These are super cherries. See my fingers? This is what I'm talking about with tomatoes. And yes, I can wear gloves, but I don't wear gloves because I need to touch. And, you know, on a plus side, I'm off today and tomorrow, so I have 2 days to scrub these off. But this is what happens to your hands. Yep. I am a green thumb, pretty much. So anyways, I have, so these here are Wisconsin tomatoes from Johnny Seeds. These, all of them were, I got my seeds from Johnny's. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. I don't know why. JohnnySeeds.com, and I last year grew on this bed over here, which is completely different now, but last year I had tons of tomatoes because I just ordered a whole bunch of different tomatoes to test out which ones that I liked. And this year I narrowed it down to Wisconsin, and then I have Romas, and then I have pink bumblebee cherry kind of tomato, and then I have the super cherries. And the Wisconsin ones get these. I like them because they're like a good in between beef and like a slicer, and they're just like good for salads and sandwiches and stuff. And plus, you know, I'm from Wisconsin, go pack go. Don't live there now, but you know, roots there. So you know, Wisconsin tomatoes, had to get those seeds and try them, but they actually, you know, I liked how they come out. But they do this weird, I cut it so it doesn't get crazy, but they will just continuously off of the tomato bunch grow more leaves and more stems and more suckers off of them. So like if you could see over there, that one is kind of having it like that. So yeah, that's something that I always kind of look for to try to catch before it gets crazy too. And then the super cherries are exactly what their name entails. They are super cherries, and they will just sucker like crazy and go all over and just produce a lot. And I have to be on that too, because, you know, maybe one day, but not right now. I don't have a very huge garden to just let my tomatoes go crazy and wild. I just have a small bed, and this is how I keep it maintained. So the first year I started growing, I had the tomato cages, and my husband and I by mid-season realized, yeah, this is insane, and tomato cages are not for tomatoes. They're great for peppers. That's what I use them for now, is the peppers. But this seems to work. I know other people use the cattle paddles and other things, but for now in our garden, this works great. And it's what I think we'll end up using even if we move. Like, you know, one day I think we will be moving from here and have a bigger garden. But meantime, this works pretty great. Only issue that I really have with it is that my husband made it very tall. So getting all of these up and down and unrailing it is very hard for me. And so I had an old garden hook that kind of broke and doesn't really keep any things on it without it falling over. So I just kind of keep it right here at the edge of the bed, and I use that as my hook to get those up and down and stuff. So anyways, I was planning on showing you some other things that might, you know, I need to clean up some other beds and do some other stuff. But I think that for this video, it's just gonna be my tomato video, because this video would be so long if I did everything, and I might just break up other things that I'm doing today in other videos. So anyways, thank you for watching a simple little tomato video. I know I'm not a professional expert gardener, but I've been doing it for 4 years, and I have a happy little garden that produces pretty good, and maybe my little tricks help you. Because like I say at work, that I do not use everything in my store exactly the way it intends to be, and I kind of live my life that way. I don't use everything in life as it intends to be. I kind of use it the way my mind thinks it should work. I don't know. That's me. So anyways, I thank you for watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button if you liked it. Tell me how your tomatoes are doing down below. And like always, spread seeds, smiles, and sunshine. Thank you. Bye.